Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be unboxing the Corsair H80i GT. This is one of their Hydro Series closed system water coolers, and I picked it up because I want to overclock my old i7 2600K processor, and I saw that this worked with both Intel and AMD CPUs, and that it had some really good ratings, so I thought that I would buy it and try it out. So let's get to the unboxing. So I really like, sorry about the screeching, I really like the boxing. It's, you know, a beautiful packaging job. They have really nice information. It comes in this nice matte black, and the cardboard seems to be really high quality. So it seems like right here we have the warranty information for this device. So if it leaks, if the pump doesn't work, those sorts of things, there's a warranty for it. I believe it's a 5-year warranty for the product. We also have a user manual. So it's in black and white. I would like it to be in color. It would be really nice if it was like a colored game manual that you get with a video game or something, but the black and white is fine. I mean, I'm not going to necessarily be displaying this anywhere, and it has instructions on AMD and Intel installations because it is compatible with both types of processor. So inside, it looks like we have the radiator here and the piping around to the lock. And then we have these two boxes. So let's see what these two boxes are. Alright, so it looks like these two boxes are fans. So it looks like we have two 120mm fans. These are standard size. So if you don't like Corsair fans, if you like Noctua fans or whatever fans, you should be able to replace these and not see much of a problem as long as they have a 4-pin connector. I do not know if these are PWM fans, so you'd have to be cognizant of that as well. But they seem like they're decent fans and decent quality fans, and you get 2 of them with this build. Now you don't need to use both of them. If you want more cooling performance, you can use both of them. The way I'm going to mount it is I'm probably going to mount one fan out of my case and one fan in my case that pushes air through the radiator, just so I have more room in my case, because it's not a small case, but it's not huge. So those are the two 120mm fans. Now, I really like this molded cardboard packaging that they have in here. It makes it really easy to see the different components, and it probably does a really good job protecting them as well, because you don't want these to be punctured, any leaks to occur in shipment. So let's take out the main water cooler. So as you can see, it comes as a closed system. There's no priming that you need to do. There's no maintenance that you need to do for this system. There's a 5-year warranty on it, so it might just last 5 years. But for $100 personally, I think that's pretty good, because you get a good amount of performance out of these sorts of water coolers. So as you can see, the radiator is quite thick, and it has this insert here. These can be removed and replaced with different colored inserts. The water block also has one, and that can be replaced with a different colored insert if you want to change it. But talking about the radiator is a dual radiator system. At least that's what I've read about it. So there are 2 radiators in here, and I was going to get the H100i GT, but it didn't fit my case. And so I opted with this. I don't get as much performance out, but it's still a very good cooler, the H80. And I'm really looking forward to seeing the numbers, and because this fits my case, whereas the H100 wouldn't fit my case, I'll probably get better performance out of this just because I wouldn't be able to vent properly through the H100. So I was really happy that they had a model that would fit 120 millimeter fan case, and that would provide the double radiator cooling so that I could basically get the most out of a closed system water cooling without having to mod my case and use a radiator that didn't fit it. So now the most interesting part of this, I would say, is the block. So as you can see, the block has thermal paste already applied to it, which is nice, and it has 3 cables, or 2 cables with 3 connectors coming out of it. Now these 2 are for the fans, the 2 120 millimeter fans that come with the water cooling system. This is the motherboard connector for the CPU fan. So you plug this into the CPU fan motherboard connector, and it powers the block's pump as well as the 2 fans. On the block there's another port, and it's this. It's a USB port. And the USB port has a special cable that comes with the system, mainly because it's an interesting cable. So you have the USB connector here at a right angle, so it will fit around most sockets. And then you have this motherboard USB connector. And this plugs in to this connector. And then this motherboard USB connector plugs into your motherboard. And it allows you to run a piece of software that Corsair has developed that makes monitoring this device easier. So you can tell what the temperature of the fluid is. I think there may be some lighting on this model. There may not be, though. But if there is, you can change the color of the lighting on the block. There are a lot of different properties of the system that you can monitor from this USB connection and the software that Corsair provides. I think this is a really cool idea that they had, and I really think they go above and beyond making the water cooling system great by adding this functionality. You know, the cooling is good, the cooling's good enough, but adding that software I think is really cool. Now in this bag we also have the AMD connector. So this is for mounting on AMD boards if you have an AMD processor, because it's compatible with both brands. This backplate, I don't know if this actually works, if you actually need this for an AMD PC, because it doesn't really seem to fit. But I know for Intel PCs you need to mount this on the back of your motherboard. Luckily I have a case where I can take off both panels, so I can easily access my motherboard back panel. But if you don't, you'll have to take your motherboard out in order to install this cooler, because you have to install this backplate. You may be able to find some way to mod it, but if you want to do it per Corsair spec, you're going to need to use this mounting plate. In here, we also have the screws to mount the fans to the radiator. We also have the standoffs and the nuts that hold the cooler on. I like these nuts because they're both Phillips head and they're self-tightening. And then we have more standoffs. So probably depending on the CPU socket, you'll use a certain type of standoff. So that was the unboxing of Corsair Hydro Series H80i GT. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, click like, favorite, and if you want to see more from me, hit subscribe.